What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
At NBS, we believe in banking for life. For over 160 years, we've been a trusted banking provider for generations of locals like you. We know our clients personally and build long-term relationships with them, offering flexibility by giving our staff freedom to make quick decisions to put them first. Experience banking for life with NBS.
Welcome to Bays Joinery Football Focus, your prime source of all things football in the top of the South. I'm Chris Butler. Alongside me, my co-host Neil Connell. Good to have you back, mate.
Nice to be back, thank you.
And today we're thrilled to have back our special returning guest, Mark Sheehan from Sheehan Financial. Great to have you here, mate. And I should say FC Locomotive.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. See on your note here, I was fifth pick. You had four ahead of me that you couldn't get hold of.
No, you were the first, but then you didn't answer your phone.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
to ring another four, and then finally, and they actually all said, no, you've got to ring Mark.
Yeah, you got to get
If Mark says no, ring me back.
Pleased to be here. Cheers.
Big news on Locomotive front because they've lost a key player this weekend.
Yeah, look, there's a big hole in third grade, I'd suggest. Serious calf injury. 10 minutes, been on for 10 minutes. But hopefully they push through and come about mid-grade, which is where they're headed. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And I hear you were on course to score too.
Yeah,
when the injury went down.
That's true. That's true. Guaranteed goal.
big loss to the local ranks.
Yeah, it is actually to the league. So, shout out to Loco. Hope you get through it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll get through it. They'll get through it.
get through
Real
it.
battle on.
It's the youth that we got to worry about. You know, they got
The
not
youth
many
coming
people to look
through.
up to. Yeah.
Is youth coming through that side? Wow.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, and Neil Skippy in Auckland in training camp at the moment with the Samoa team.
Yeah, they're still up there. They head off to Fiji tomorrow. They've had two warm-up games up there. So against two Auckland teams, City and United. Played the first one. They'd only had one training session, I think, and lost 2-1. Played again last night and won 3-1. So it's a good result for them. Spoke to Dante and a couple of Samoan boys just on Thursday there. So they're quite happy in the way things are going. So they head off tomorrow to Fiji and then they start the competition. I think it's Monday they might start. So
Gee, it's going to be warm over there, isn't it?
28 degrees. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
But they're really excited for it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good luck to them. As I said last week, they've got Papua New Guinea, Fiji, and Tahiti in the group. So tough group, but should be
So
should be good fun.
potentially lining up against the All Whites if all goes well. So
Yeah, that's right. Finish second if they can
Yeah.
get a second spot. Or even obviously top two go through. But if they
Yeah.
finish second, you would imagine the All Whites will top the other group.
yeah,
So that would line up a game against the All Whites, which would be fantastic for them.
that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? All right, good stuff. Must give a big shout out to our naming rights sponsor, George Moeller, Bays Joinery and the team for all your joinery needs and some fantastic products, including the Laminax Group. Shout out to Phil Thompson as well. And also the Turf Hotel. Great to have Stan and the team on board as our venue sponsor. In today's episode, we're diving deep into senior men and women's local premiership, the Southern League, both men and women, the latest from New Zealand football, and also overseas news. The Euro Cup is about to start. So
Exciting times.
it's going to be an exciting time. We'll get into that. But first of all, senior football update brought to you by Sheehan Financial, KiwiSaver Insurance and Financial Planning. How are things going in this
In this economic climate.
we're best to say?
Oh, yeah. Where do you want to start with that, to be honest? I mean, things pretty tough in New Zealand, to be sure. But if you get good independent financial advice, you can ride through any market condition.
Yeah, there you go. You're the man to talk to.
Oh.
Now, you must remind us your colleague that plays for Tahuna
Leah Corby Smith.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic.
So she plays on and off. She's injured more than I am. So, yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
no, that's right. Okay. Well, look, we'll have to invite her on the show.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
talk
I've-
about the women's
I've
league
said that. Yep.
and the Tahuna
She's
team.
got a lot to say. So yeah.
Well, the Tahuna team been travelling pretty well this season.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get into it. Senior Pine Senior Women's First Division results and Golden Bay Shield Maidens 5-0 over Hetcars FC Nelson Diamonds. Mapua Cougars 1-1 with Nelson Suburbs Women's. Actually, someone called a draw last week. I don't know if that was the game. Nelson Suburbs Swans 6-1 over Motueka Angels, and the Hot House Creative Richmond Foxes still on their winning way, 5-0 against Sprig and Fern Tahuna. So there you go. But geez, yeah, Mapua Cougars and Nelson Suburbs, that was a tight match, 1-1 at the Domain. The lineup for this week, Motueka Angels taking on the Foxes. Geez, that's a tough game there, Neil, at Memorial Park.
Yeah, tough one there. It's a tough one to call, actually. Motueka, they have struggled a bit. They took a big defeat last week, but they'll be looking to back on the horse again. But yeah, Richmond Foxes going strong. They've another 5-0 win against a good Tahuna side. So
Yeah.
that'd be a good game. But looking at it, you probably fancy Richmond Foxes with that one.
Defeated, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, go well, aren't they?
Golden Bay Shield Maidens finding some form recently, taking on the Mapua Cougars, who actually have had a couple of good results recently. So what are you thinking about that one, Mark?
I reckon that's game of the round, Chris.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me, two evenly matched teams
Yeah.
coming into it. I mean, Mapua, a little bit lower on the grade, but they'll be looking to get a win. It's almost like a local derby, isn't it?
Oh, here we go again.
Here we Let's say, hang on. First of all, we've got Mapua and Golden Bay being a derby, and now we're stretching out to Mapua, are we?
Yeah, that's right. Mapua and Golden Bay.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we definitely need some feedback about that. So,
Yeah,
is
typical-
Mapua and Golden Bay a derby with a big hill in the way? Is that? Can you call that a derby?
Well, I need to put it to the vote, I think.
We'll put it to the vote. Give us your thoughts. Golden Bay at home, though, Mark.
Yeah. As I say, I reckon that's about game around, but you'd fancy Golden Bay, to be honest, especially at home.
Yeah,
At home.
that
Trying to
trip
go
over the
at
hill.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I
There you
tipped
go.
Golden Bay. Tipped them last week to win. I'm looking at results. I think I got maybe 2 right last week. So
Yeah.
but I think the Golden Bay,
Yeah.
they'll carry on with it.
Hetcars FC Nelson Diamonds taking on the Swans, so that's going to be a tough one for them. But it is at the Botanics. They are at home.
They're all local derbies, really, aren't they? But I mean, once again, the Swans are doing very well this year. So, in the Diamonds, they're getting better. Is the advice I've been given. Getting better every week, and so who knows? Searching for their first point.
Pulling the Swans, I presume, Neil.
Yeah, I'd have to call the Swans. They're not because it's Nelson Suburbs. Just looking at the previous results, but you'd have to fancy the Swans in that one, I think.
Sprig and Fern Tahuna Breakers, and you've got to be careful here, Mark, taking on Nelson Suburbs Women's Reserves. Tough match for them, but it's at Tahuna Nui.
Yeah, well, the reserves are good, right? They're
Yeah.
second in the grade and lost one game, but once again, I think Tahuna's 1-4, lost 4, maybe something like that. So who knows? When they're on Tahuna. So
Yeah, they'll have a chance this weekend, Tahuna. Our girls have got the Kate Shepherd Cup, obviously.
of course, yes.
Ah.
They're travelling down on Friday, so depending on who's available and having an overnight stay, play and then come back. So one or two of the girls for the first team not available. So obviously that dips into reserves. So it'll be an interesting game.
Are you going to call it?
I'd say Tahuna. Sorry, mate.
Very safe.
Man has spoken.
It's
Yeah,
it's a very safe call. He can't go back to the office and say, I've picked the other side.
Well,
Going to be a lot of trouble. Nelson Pine Senior Women's Premiership and the table looking like Richmond Foxes now just starting to stretch that lead a little bit, aren't they? And reserves on 19, closely followed by the Swans on 16. So Nelson Suburbs dominating the top there, but Richmond pretty hard to knock off at this point in time. Nelson Pine Senior Men's First Division and results from last weekend. Sprig and Fern, we've talked about it because we said they must be coming close to a win, and then Pete Hampton jumped on social media, said, well, they did have a win. They beat Motueka 2-0.
Right.
So I think is that their first win? I can't remember, but they'll be pretty chuffed about that. Reserves and Rangers, how about this? And
Great
this
result.
was going to be the match of the round,
Yeah,
2
it was a
all.
great game. Yeah, good game.
So that was at was that at
Yeah,
Saxon?
Saxon's after our game. Yeah,
Yeah,
got to watch that game. It's a good game.
right. well done to both. But that kind of goes in favour of FC Nelson, doesn't it? The FC Nelson Carini 2-1 over Smith and Sons Richmond. So, they're keeping their consistency. Richmond not an easy beat by any means. That would have been a close match. And FC Nelson just keeps growing, don't they? Because they've had some close matches, but doing it quite comfortably against Tahuna 3-0. What we'll say comfortably, but it might not have been.
It was very comfortable, Chris. It was
that?
unfortunately by default, but I know that had a number of injuries, I know. And at the last minute they were struggling to string a side together. So it was
and they did play that midweek game, didn't they?
Yeah,
I wonder if that had an effect. Okay, there you go.
So it's a shame, but there we go.
And Golden Bay Mountain Goats still follow their form 3-1 over Motueka.
Yeah, local derby.
In the derby.
Derby. Okay. All right. The draw for this weekend. Okay, Richmond, Smith and Sons Richmond taking on Rangers. But it is at home at Jubilee Park and an ever improving young side.
Yeah, I watched the game, as I said, against Rangers and Suburbs. Rangers are a good side. A lot of good players in that team. Strong, physical, technically good as well. So Richmond, I think Rangers, they want to hold on to that spot now. And a few more games might see them right, to be honest. So I'd take Rangers for that one.
Yep.
I'd take Rangers as well. I mean, we play against the Richmond reserve team, and they got some good young players. They try to play good football and so on, but Blenheim for the last number of years have had those really good quality players playing in their side.
FC Nelson Carini taking on FC Nelson. So if we're going to call a derby, surely
Proper derby.
we could call this a derby. And
Okay.
look at this. It's a home match for Carini and
Yep.
it's at Victory Square.
Yep.
So all of Victory is going to be coming out to support that. There's going to be a big crowd there.
Yep.
Great club day. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I was driving past and Victory Square's looking excellent. You've been past, look at the pitches. The pitch is looking really good. I'm not sure how much football's been played on it. I think
Must be getting it ready for the cricket season.
Done.
Yeah, but it's looking really good. So that will be a good game of football. FC Nelson and Carini, both good teams. So it's a tough one to call, isn't it?
Well, you got to pick first 11, I guess. But
Yeah.
at home, Victory, they do get big crowds. Big.
They do.
And they do
Very
pick the game up down there. Yeah, so you're looking at it, you'd probably go over the first 11, but you just never know on the day, do you?
You calling that?
Call it
I'd go first 11. Yeah, you'd have to really.
I'll say first 11.
Golden Bay Mountain Goats taking on Spriggan Fern Tahuna. Actually, this will be a close game. But gee, Tahuna doing it tough because they had that midweek game, then they had to default, and now they've got to travel over the hill to Golden Bay, so it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah,
but it is going to be close.
Yeah, my understanding is a lot of those players are back now. They got an import Tahuna guy named Kieran Crossan. So he was pretty fit last week. So we'll see how he goes this week. But that Mountain Goat side are handy, handy, tough competitors. So I'm going to go Mountain Goats on that one. To be fair, with all due respect.
Totally agree.
Yes, the Tahuna
Seen
boys.
Mountain Goats once this season, and they were very good against their reserve team, and they're a decent side, let alone on their home patch as well.
Well, at least you can go back to the office and say, I'll pick 50%. You only get half in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, Motueka taking on Nelson Suburbs Reserve, so it doesn't get any easier for Motueka. It is at home, though, at Memorial Park, but Reserves really need a win, don't they?
Yeah, they need a win. Again, we've no game this weekend, so
Right.
we can put 3 guys down that will need some game time as well for the reserve. So that's what will happen. Some boys needing game time that never got game time last week. So Dave will have a good squad to pick from, and I can't see anything other than reserves win this.
I think because former Locomotive goalkeeper Clinton Bloomfield is the Motueka coach, and he was saying there's a number of players that have been out for a number of months that are coming back. Specifically for this game, from what he told me. So I'm going to go for a draw on this.
Jeez.
Fair one.
He just,
First points of the year for Motueka, I'd say.
how's that? Jeez, Neil. Big call there. We'll see
I'm
how
half
it
getting,
goes.
your suburbs reserves are going to be a very strong side, especially if you've got 2 or 3 coming down from the mainland. They've had a great season
They have.
as well.
You have, and even the young boys, Austin Jeffries, Brock Cotton's banging them in every week.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've got a good side without 1 or 2 going down. So yeah,
And they go, a couple of results go your way and you're in second place.
it's
aren't
still
you?
very tight looking at it.
Yeah, so if we look at the standings, the top 3 at the moment, FC Nelson first 11 on 18, Rangers on 17, Nelson Suburbs Reserves on 14. So, yeah, very close. Only difference being that Rangers are a game ahead. So, yeah, it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be very interesting for the season.
I think looking at it, FC Nelson are probably still favourites. So Rangers, as you say, played one game more. So I'm not sure who the game in hand might be against, but FC Nelson, but they're looking good. They're looking strong at the moment.
Yeah, they are. There's always that game. If they have to go over and play Rangers at home, that might even things up. It often comes down to there, but the reserves aren't slouch either. So
great goal difference, the reserve team.
Yeah.
Well, half of it's down to Brock Cotton, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Good young player.
Southern League women and results from last weekend. Well, it was the Kate Shepherd Cup, and unfortunately, Waimaki defaulted, so the girls automatically went through to the next round. Don't think they played a Chatham Cup game yet. And then this weekend they have to go down to Christchurch to take on Kashmir Technical.
Yeah, not the easiest.
Not the easiest. Saturday, 12 o'clock kickoff. So have they been talking about this during the week?
Yeah. Giza had the girls there training last night and have another session on Thursday, and then they'll travel down on Friday, drive down, stay over, play the game, drive back. So not the easiest because they haven't done too much football in the last few weeks, as we spoke about last week as well. But Cash Tech are strong, So, but they've got a good team to pick from. So hopefully they can go down and represent the club well and give them a good game. It was tough for them down there last time they played. But I think they've learned a little bit about Cash Tech. So.
Yeah, well, I was just saying to Mark before when we were talking to them last week, it wasn't like, it's going to be tough and we hope for the best.
Yeah.
It was
they're up for it.
We're confident. We want to go down there and really take them on.
They'll go down there and have a good crack at them. There's no point in not. It's a cup. You only got one crack at it. We've seen the other week with FC Nelson do against our boys. So anything can happen in the cup. So good luck to them. I hope they get a result down there.
Absolutely. Southern League men, well, a break this week. We'll talk about results shortly, but a break for the Chatham Cup. And FC Nelson get a home berth against Ferrymead Bays, Mark. So going to be a big day at Guppy Park, I believe. That was
1 o'clock Guppy Park.
Neil called it. He said they should be playing it on Guppy Park, and going to make a day of it. So tell us a little bit about what's planned.
Yeah, they're trying to what they call out to pack the park, and there'll be a bit of atmosphere there, that's for sure. They'll get good support, and I know that some of the other clubs have said, "Oh well, that's our Nelson rep now," so it should be a good afternoon out there. PB, he's a quality coach, and he'll have something up his sleeve for these guys. So yeah, it'll be good game. It'll be his call to have it played at Guppy, I'd say. So
definitely.
Yeah, to get his tactics set up to take these guys on. So yeah.
You've played Ferrymead Bays, the team quite well. So what's Bridie going to have to do, what's he going to have to watch out for with Ferrymead Bays? They've come off, you said during the week, Ferrymead Bays lost to Christchurch United. Is that right?
Yeah, just last night. In the English Cup they played last night, lost 2-1 to Christchurch United. So
and then in the league round, they go down to Nomads.
Yep.
So they're not going to be very happy. No. They're going to be coming up here saying...
Alan Walker will be very not happy at the moment.
No.
Right.
Yeah, but for FC Nelson, they just have to do exactly what they did against us. I'm pretty sure Bridie will get them set up well. They defend well. They worked hard for each other. Bays have got one or two good players as a Japanese boy and plays wide. James Dean, Chris Murphy, experienced in midfield. A couple of other experienced defenders. But if they do go out that attitude they came out against us, then they've got every chance. Especially on a Guppy Park. So good luck to them.
There's plenty of rain forecast as well. So
yeah,
it might be a bit of a leveler. Friday, Saturday, bit of rain. So
right, okay, yeah. So tell us about the kickoff times and all that. Has that been determined yet? Or?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock Guppy Park, I believe. It's definitely a Guppy Park, but 1 o'clock I'm pretty sure is the kickoff time, which I think is all Chatham Cup games generally.
And I believe you're going to be emceeing down there, Mark. So
you're not available. What's the game? That's online. Yeah, where's my? Yeah. So yeah, come on down and listen to the entertainment, man.
Like, cool.
We'll be down there. We'll be down there watching. I know all the suburbs boys are going to go down and watch as well. So hopefully it's the weather plays its part, because you get a decent day. They'll get a really good crowd down there. Make it a good occasion for them, and hopefully they can pull another one out of the bag.
And then usually plenty of refreshments in there. The barbecue's usually going flat out.
Yeah, I just think back to that university playoff they had last year. That was a really good day out.
Really
good crowd. Something to do in the afternoon. Bring the kids down. Free entry. Made it free entry this Sunday. So yeah, it'll be good.
Awesome. All right, look forward to that. Get down there and support FC. Results from the Southern League men from last round, and Nomads getting over Ferrymead Bays 2-1. Cashmere Tech 4-2 over Christchurch United. So, yeah, Christchurch United, different side to last year, different get up. So, Cashmere Tech leading the way. Selwyn 4-0 over FC 20. And then Coastal Spirit 5-1 over Universities. But the other big score, 6-2 against Dunedin City Royal. So, Neil, talk us through that, because the boys would have been disappointed going down to FC in the Chatham Cup. You've had to go all the way. Oh, no, that wasn't home, was it?
Saxtons,
Saxtons. And then what a comeback, 6-2 against Dunedin City. So tell us about the build-up and the game.
Yeah, well, we obviously, as you said, we were disappointed after last week, and the whole club and the players especially feeling it. So what we were after was a reaction this week, and we trained well and hard all week, and had a good chat about the game, and I think one or two had a point to prove. So we Dunedin had it tough. They were on the go from 5:30 this morning in the morning. So it's a tough gig, and we do the same going down there as well. So it's a long day. Plus the game got delayed because the referee's flight got cancelled, so it got delayed a little bit more. So I think it kicked off at 12:30 in the end. But all those little things add to it. But for our boys, they were outstanding. Got exactly what we wanted from them after last week. And 6-2. Disappointed to concede one at the end, to be honest. 6-1's always better than 6-2. But we need to kick on now. We've had training this week. We've just chilled out a little bit. Had the boys at the Aqua Centre last night, just doing some hydro pool and getting together, and we'll get back into it on Thursday. And then, as I said, week off. Boys are down supporting FC Nelson on Sunday, and then we train hard all next week, and we've had 2011 at home, so another good home game for us.
Yeah, that's right. Had a couple of players out, as well, especially with a quality player like Dante. So the boys coming in to fill that gap. Did the job.
That's what we said last week. Gives people an opportunity. Young Bound Pollock came in the midfield, was outstanding at number 10. So we got the reaction we wanted, and that's exactly what we need. We need to kick on now, because we have been a bit inconsistent, especially against some of the top teams, if you like. So, we're looking forward to the next game for sure.
Nice work. Good stuff. If we do look at the table, Cashmere Tech sitting on top, 25, not too far behind. Coastal Spirit moves into second. How's that? So Christchurch United on 21, not far behind, and not too far away, Neil. So we just need couple of upsets. So Christchurch United to be knocked off, but we really need top two, don't we?
Yeah.
So, but you never know. Still a long season to go.
We've got 2011 at home next game, and then we're away to Coastal Spirit. So
it'll be nice to tip them up.
Targeting that one. So
okay, good stuff. All right.
Sorry, is that Skippy's old club?
Yeah,
Coastal,
yeah, it is. Yes, yeah. But
turn them over.
Yeah,
hopefully.
New Zealand football news, and I hope I've got this right. Jekta Klimkova returns to the Ford Football Fern. So that was a bit of an oddity. So no statement from New Zealand football about why, just an employment issue. So whether that was contract or whether that was someone complained and or a dispute, and but obviously all sorted out, and she's back at the helm. Yep.
Well, you would have had your fair share of employment issues over the years, wouldn't you, Chris? So, and you're still here. So,
I have no idea. Staying out of it.
No, it was very strange, wasn't it? Very, very strange turn of events. So, God knows, maybe it'll come out and maybe it won't.
Yeah, we spoke about it last week, and we're still not clear what was going on. Maybe visa issues, I don't know. It could be anything, but she's back, so yeah, that's good for the Ferns. So
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Overseas news, and the big talk obviously is the European Cup, Nations Cup. So it's all going to kick off this weekend. So that's it. All the sweepstakes are in. My partner ended up with England. I think PB's got France.
Good one.
So that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Who have you got, Neil?
Oh, we dropped the ball here. Skippy was organising the sweeps.
Oh, was he? And then he's got.
Say no more. So so we've kind of dropped the ball on that a little bit. So
Okay, so
last time we did it, I got North Macedonia.
Right.
So I was quite
That was
happy.
Skippy organising as
Quite
well.
happy.
Right?
Didn't even get my money back because I scraped a point against somebody, so I didn't even get my money back out of the stake. So
well,
no
my,
good track record.
my partner said, "Oh, what's this about?" Oh, okay, yeah, I'll buy a ticket, and then she drew England.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well,
So, yeah, hopefully that means that she'll sit down and watch the games. All right, let's go for the lineup. We're going to come back to the opener because we'll talk through that, but just quickly go through Hungary taking on Switzerland, Spain and Croatia. That would be a good game.
good games.
Italy versus Albania, Poland versus Netherlands, another good one. Slovenia taking on Denmark, Serbia taking on England. Well, England have been a bit indifferent. Maybe they were just being a bit casual, but going down 1-0 in a friendly to Iceland, not really reflective of what could happen in the tournament. But Serbia is not going to be a walk in the park,
No,
I'd
definitely
imagine.
not. There's no. You look at all the fixtures. It's going to be tough.
Ukraine taking on Romania, Belgium taking on Slovakia, Austria taking on France. France, you'd have to say, are they the favourites?
Maybe one of them.
Yeah.
One of.
Georgia taking on Turkey, and then we've got Portugal taking on Czechoslovakia. But the main game of the round is Scotland taking on Germany. You said that last week, they lost about 6 in a row or something, but just prior to that, Scotland actually were travelling pretty well. They've got some good players.
Yeah.
And Germany isn't the team they used to be. I mean, Germany is always a good side, but they're not the team they used to be, are they? So
yeah, they've come into a little bit of form again. Germany, they've and especially at home, host nation. Scotland's lost a few. There's a few we couldn't go to camp due to injury. Ben Doak left camp injured. We called someone in for him, but we just have to go out there. I'll be a lot more confident if we're going out with the team that we had, or the squad we had prior to the people pulling out. But we got a chance. It's a Euros, so Germany just go out, and I think we probably have to be a little bit more defensive. I mean, Steve Clark likes to play a 3-5-2, but obviously the troubles with that is you end up in a 5 and you can't get out. And with Germany's players, you could be in a bit of spot bother. But hopefully they go out and give a good account of themselves. We've never got out of group stage.
Oh, really?
Never got out of group stage in the Euros, so a chance to become legends if they can actually get out.
Well, the thing that strikes me about Scotland, and I must admit I haven't seen them. I've seen some highlights, but I haven't seen them play a lot more recently. But with Scottish football, it was all about attacking football. They played with their feet, they played a fast-paced game, and they took teams on.
Yeah.
And how is that? What's the Scottish team like today? Are they more structured in what they do, or is there still that flair and that want to take teams on?
Yeah, well, it's always like you say, they've always had good dribbles of the ball and always been good attacking sides, and especially back in the 80s and things like that when we had really strong teams. But yeah, no, they're a lot more structured, a lot more like when you listen to Steve Clark talking, it's a lot more of a club atmosphere around the Scotland national camp.
Yep.
So the players have been together for a long time, and I think that helps quite a lot, especially going away for the Euros and things like that. They've got good players in there. Yeah, there'll be 200, rumours are there's over 150, 200,000 Tartan Army going.
Oh, is it?
I was watching it on social media. They're off in camper vans and caravans, and some are on a train and ferries, and unbelievable. So
Pete Walker from FC Nelson said it over. He's a good Scotsman. You'll
Good
be
man.
backing him.
Well, interestingly enough, we tried to get Steve Clark on the show,
Right.
but we couldn't. We couldn't get the coach, so we tried for the local Steve Clark, but Clarkie's busy too. So
he might actually be over there. You would never know with him.
well, he said no.
He probably doesn't know.
He's flat out at work, but you could be right. He skived off. He suddenly took off in his camper.
Wouldn't surprise me. But going back to Scotland, they've got really good midfield play. John McGinn, Callum McGregor, McTominay, but guys playing at a really high level. Robertson, fullback, Kieran Tierney. So Shea Adams up top. We've got some good players playing at a good level.
And you've got nothing to lose, really. I mean, I hope that, you do take them on because, Germany's a very structured team, very disciplined, but there's nothing like if you think you haven't got the opportunity to beat them on paper, to just throw it to the wind and go
Yep.
for it, because often that shocks teams, doesn't it?
Especially, it seems to be the Euro, right? If you think, I think it was Denmark about 96, and then Greece whenever, what was that, 2004, and
Yep.
England just recently. The underdog can get quite through in these tournaments if they get it all together.
Yeah,
So maybe it's Scotland's turn.
Hope
Yep.
so.
Yeah, hopefully they go and have a go. I mean, looking at it, Germany, you'd be happy if you got anything from the game in the first one. So it's good to get a good start. But Hungary and Switzerland, there's no reason why we can't go out and get something out of both of those games. And that'll be the games that, get Germany out of the way, see where you are. And then hopefully, Hungary and Switzerland.
I can hear TJ and Lutz now saying, "What are you talking about? Who are you backing?"
Well,
We're back in Scotland, to be honest,
there we are.
generally.
All right. Well, good luck to both teams, I better say. Otherwise, Lutz will be in my ear.
Yep.
That's right, he's a ref. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You won't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, really looking forward to it, and we'll get some results next week and rip into where the tables are sitting. That's it for another episode. My thanks to our venue sponsor, the Turf Hotel, and of course, Bays Joinery, our naming right sponsors. Mark, great to have you in again, mate.
Cheers, mate.
From Sheehan Financial for all your financial planning advice, insurance, KiwiSaver. Make sure you go and see them. And sorry that you won't be able to make the park this weekend, mate.
I'm okay with it.
You'll be there.
I've done my time.
You've done your time.
Yeah.
Where are they sitting on the table? Have you?
Well, we got two teams. So I play the third grade side now. We're beautifully mid-table. We certainly don't want to get promoted because we came straight down last time. But our second grade team are sitting first or second. They're doing really well. They've got a good side. They've got a good side up there. There are some good young players in there.
Yeah.
And some of the old kids still go all right. Got Jonathan Goff playing there. He's a good
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
player.
right,
Parksy.
right.
Local a few times.
Yeah.
Good bunch of guys as well,
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck. You'll be there in spirit, I'm sure. You can catch this. Oh, thank you, Neil. Very
You're
much.
welcome. 7 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yes.
I'll be behind the couch.
Set the alarm.
Yeah.
Cup of tea.
Come on, Scotland. We can do it.
In your kilt.
Okay. Pass your best wishes off to Skippy
Will
too. You can catch this and other podcasts on NBS Talk Nelson, our social media channels, and on Spotify, NBS Talk Nelson. We'll see you again next week on the Bays Joinery Football Focus.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Well done.
What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.